So a lot has been going on about Khalil Roundtree, and a lot of people are asking that question. What if his Muay Thai is the answer to Alex Pereira's kickboxing? I don't know. Okay, I still don't know why the title shot's happening. I mean, I guess they had to do something. I honestly think Alex Pereira versus Jamal Hill 2 would have been a better option, just because then Jamal Hill can't have an excuse when Alex beats him again. And I honestly firmly believe Alex Pereira would beat Jamal Hill in the first round all over again. I think that Jamal Hill gravely underestimated Alex Pereira and got caught. And even if he knows how good Alex is, he still hasn't been there in there with the octagon enough times to really kind of know just how good he is, if that makes sense. I know it's a run-on sentence. It's early morning. Too bad, but I'm gonna be real. I feel like Roundtree and Hill should have fought first, and if Roundtree were to beat Hill, which probably wouldn't have happened, then I would have said, Roundtree, you're up for a title shot. But the UFC is pulling this so out of left field. To now, you could go to MMA Rigo's channel, and he's made some deep dives about Khalil Roundtree that paint him and his past in an interesting light. To now, where anybody who thinks the Illuminati or any secret society bent on world domination is involved in the UFC, now you're giving these people some credit. In fact, honestly, all I'm going to say is that's all alleged. I've got no thoughts of self-harm whatsoever. If you know, you know. But MMA Rigo has made a lot of content based around a lot of this stuff and what their tattoos mean and everything. So that's why I wanted to mention that. So here's the thing. If Roundtree somehow wins, then I guess the people who look for Illuminati confirmed signs are going to have even more. But I think definitely I would want to bet on Roundtree in case, he wins, Illuminati or no Illuminati, just because he's going to be such a heavy underdog, like plus 2,000, that you probably have a big payout versus, there's no real point to betting on Alex Pereira. He'd probably be a minus 3,000, and you'd have to bet so much just to win something so little. Wow. But yeah, no, that's interesting. But that this is actually happening. But I will say, what if Khalil Roundtree does take the bacon? What if he does win? What if he does get this whole thing done? Definitely they're going to set up a rematch, and Alex Pereira is probably going to take it back. Because honestly, I feel like if Alex Pereira is going to, lose this fight, it's going to be because he's going to be underestimating Roundtree and he gets caught with something. Every great fighter is susceptible to a right hook, just like every black belt could get caught by a white belt with a Kimura if they're not paying enough attention. I've seen it honestly happen at jiu-jitsu gyms before. Black belt goes against a blue belt, and the blue belt's really good and catches him with like a Kimura that he's sleeping on, and the guy taps. And, he realizes, hey, I was sleeping on this guy's skill set. And I feel like Alex Pereira might actually overgo something similar. Not quite yet, because he did have an interesting lapse in judgment with Israel Adesanya with their fourth fight, where he was really rushing in because he thought there wasn't a thing Israel was going to be able to do, and then that's how he got caught. So we know Alex Pereira has the tendency to get a little, in his head, or get a little like, oh, I'm unstoppable. So he does have that cockiness in there. And you know what? It's a human aspect. As stone-faced as Alex Pereira is and as stoic as he comes across, he's human and he's flawed. And there's a possibility that, yeah, he might actually sleep on Roundtree's skill set a little bit. And we might be seeing an upset we've never seen. Whether you believe the Illuminati's involved or not or anything like that, I do think it is very possible. But if Roundtree takes the title, I don't think that he's going to win the rematch, because I think Alex Pereira is going to get a little more focused, or whoever they hand, Roundtree next is going to be pretty overpowered. So, and we've seen this before. Roundtree, he's gotten pretty good, and he's finished most of his opponents in his past few fights. But, all it takes is one shot, and then in the rematch, all it takes is one shot to lose the title. So, it's possible, and, I think with a lot of the speculation going on, I think that it might happen, might not. But if it does, it's probably not going to be a very long-lived title reign. That's just my brutally honest opinion. But hey, we've seen odder title shots before. Does anyone remember Bisping versus Henderson 2, right? I don't think there was any reason to justify why that fight happened except for marketability. And we do know that, the UFC will take a marketable fight over one that makes sense in the rankings because most people come just to see people get punched in the face in the UFC. It's an unfortunate reality. Not a lot of people care about the rankings. Not a lot of people care about the stats or how these fighting matchups happen. Not a lot of the people who watch this are very nerdish about what the fighters are doing and how they're doing these hip tosses. A lot of people just want to see violence. But that's what I got to say. We'll wait to see because we do got to get through UFC 306 first before we move on. But later.